Hi, PC Global. This is Pastor Larry, and I'm talking to you today about vision. People ask, what's the vision of PC Global? Our vision doesn't change. Our vision's never changed. This vision of world evangelism has been in my heart since I was in my early 20s. First time I loaded up Janet and we went to India. Today I'm at a unique place. I'm in Massachusetts, and I'm standing in a park called the Haystack Prayer Meeting Park. This monument back here is to 5 young men who were going to go to college right here where college is. And they were walking in a field one day, and they were talking about sending missionaries to Asia. Up to that time, America had never had an official mission sending agency. And as far as we know, no missionaries had gone from North America. A few years before, William Carey had gone from England into India, and his message had reached these young men and challenged them. So they're in their 20s, they're walking in this field, and a thunderstorm hits and a rainstorm hits. So they get into a haystack. In those days, haystacks were on a wood platform. They were like a teepee, and they were cut out in the middle so the hay wouldn't rot when it got wet, but the rain would fall off of it. So they ran into that haystack, which was right here. And in that crowded little place, they began to pray. And they prayed that God would help them to send workers and to go into Asia to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Within 2 years, they'd formed an organization, and a couple years later sent the first missionaries into Asia. The number one to go was Adoniram Judson, and a team with him, and he went into India, but they couldn't stay there, so they ended up in Burma. Adoniram and his wife had only been married 7 days when they left America. When they got there, they faced persecution, poverty, prison, and all types of things. For 6 years, he didn't have one response, one convert, not one convert. After 6 years, he had one convert. But by the time he died at 62 years old, they said that his death at 8, by the time he died at 62 years old, the government of Burma noted over 210,000 Burmese Christians. They said there were 63 churches and 123 missionaries. Happened because of that. Because 5 young men. See, it's not critical that something great big is happening. Here in this spot that no one noticed, it says that Samuel Mills, who was the real instigator, they claim here, of this, had the real passion. Samuel Mills was a mediocre student. When he graduated from university, they wouldn't even let him participate in the graduation because he was too mediocre. But he had a passion for God. Insignificant. Nobody noticed what happened here. Nobody paid any attention. But here I am 200 years later, over 200 years later, shouting and praising God because of what these young men did here in their prayer meeting and in their tenacity to say, we will go. It was Samuel Mills that says, we can do it if we will. We can do it if we will. Our vision of evangelism, discipleship, and church planting, win, build, and send is what we're about. It's what we believe in, discipling people and sending them now from the local churches to go into the cities and the nations to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ.